Hi, I'm Tom Dalton, host of the Emmy Award-winning PBS television program Under the Radar Michigan, where every week we feature the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan a great place to be. Now in May, the National Main Street Conference is going to be right here in the city of Detroit. And there's so much cool stuff happening in Detroit right now, you're not going to believe it. What, you don't believe it? Check this out.
You know, I was so excited when I found out we were coming back to Detroit that I actually worked up a theme for this segment. Now get this, Detroit. Earth, wind, and fire. But for some reason, it ended up being Detroit, wine, cheese, and fire. And I have no idea how that happened. Actually, I do. It was the wine. It was the wine. I admit it.
So you may have never thought of Detroit as a wine destination, but hey, that's why shows like this are so great.
Now, if you think about it, there's really only two kinds of wine in the world, the kind you like and the kind you don't like. Now, I found a place here in Detroit that very few people know about that serves wine that's not only reasonably priced, but it's really good too, which means they've got the kind of wine I like. Now, you're going to have to do a little bit of research because when you're on Woodward Avenue, the only clue you'll have that this place even exists is this open sign. Thanks, Jim.
Motor City Wine, the brainchild of David Armin-Parcells and Mark Szymanski. They've taken a prime location and filled it with great wine, local art, and live music to create what they like to call a value boutique. Here you can sample wines from around the world and even take home a bottle or two. You know, for like when there's company over, of course.
What inspired you guys to open a wine place like this?
Well, I ran a grocery store in Midtown, and I also managed the beer and wine department for them. And that was actually the most successful department that we had. So it gave me a lot of confidence to kind of take this next step and see if it worked. And I brought Mark on board as my partner.
Now, what's your philosophy? I know my philosophy on wine is to find really good wines that aren't overpriced. And I understand you guys have a similar philosophy.
That's pretty much our philosophy to a T, you know. But we also try to branch out and find things that are a little bit more eclectic, smaller, boutique-y wines that, you know, really should maybe cost more, but they don't.
What's your clientele like? Who's coming down here?
It's really a complete mix. We have, you know, people that are living in the area, moving downtown, living in various neighborhoods. A lot of the people that work in the district, and you know, we have a really eclectic crowd.
And what they've created here really seems to work. Just stop by one of their wine tastings and you'll see why.
It's very eclectic, very friendly. The owners are awesome guys. So much fun to talk to, knowledgeable, not wine snobs, quote unquote, but just fun to hang out with.
It's small and it's intimate, and they really help you out and explain the wines to you.
I think it's a really cool spot. It's the only one like it in Detroit.
It's really nice to have unique options. So I live in the city, and sometimes after being at the same places over and over again, you kind of want something different.
So how does tonight's tasting work exactly?
Well, it's kind of a traditional brown bag blind tasting where we're going through 5 different wines and we're letting customers, first off and most importantly, pick their favorite out of them, right, which we will probably start selling if we don't already.
Gotcha.
And then we also want them to try and guess what all 5 of the wines are. So country and major grape varietal.
I don't have a lot of experience with wine tasting, so I'm looking forward to the guessing game portion of the evening.
I have a hint for you. The later it gets into the evening and the more you drink, probably the more off your guesses will be.
And yet, the more confident I will probably be in that.
Right. You'll be adamantly wrong.
My favorite way to be wrong.
The mood was comfortably hip and refreshingly unpretentious. If you like great music and great wine and Detroit, you'll love Motor City Wine.